I'm packing surfboards for a Nicaragua coaching camp. So here's some tips I have for you about packing surfboards. And if you've got any of your own tips that you don't see here, please drop them below. Let this be a community effort on how to pack boards effectively so the airlines don't make them into pieces. So I'm Chris Mills with surfstrengthcoach.com. Like I said, heading to Nicaragua for a coaching trip. Keep an eye out for 2022 and 2023 surf coaching trip schedules. They'll be popping off. Popping off. No, I'm not too cool to wear sunglasses inside. I'm in Florida and my body has decided to rage against me and give me the most insane allergies I have ever experienced in my life. So it probably looks like I'm stoned out of my mind or I have conjunctivitis allergies. I wish I was just stoned out of my mind. If you've got tips for better surfboard pack, drop them below, right? So first off, one thing that I see often go missed, cardboard. Around the outside of that board bag just helps another layer of kind of thickness, padding, cushioning. Super helpful. And obviously, as always, the bubble wrap. I always tend to travel with surf socks, board socks. I actually got this one in Bali when I was still living in Bali prior to the C word that had destroyed surf travel. So anyways, little boat trips around. You want to keep something out of the sun. I always travel with some board socks and it's another layer of cushioning. So wrap up your board and then bottom of the surfboard bag, I usually travel with a yoga mat. Malibu Papoya, where we're doing these Nicaragua coaching camps, they're gonna let me use some yoga mats. So otherwise, I would have lined the bottom of this surfboard bag with a yoga mat, or if I'm traveling somewhere that I need wetsuits, wetsuits go on the bottom or the top, as well as boardies, t-shirts, and it's all gonna come down to how much this board bag weighs. Get yourself a digital scale because airlines are bastards. I didn't tell you my surfboards. That one you just saw go in there, 6'4" twin fin epoxy by Clayton. Yeah, it's about 34 liters. It is 34 liters. I kind of hopped onto the twin fin. Oh, I've been surfing 20s for a while, but the mid-length train, I reckon that board on some good beach break in Central America is gonna go mad. I've surfed it at really good beaches in East Coast Australia. I am, for the first time, going to be trying out a Lost Driver 2.0. This is the 510 model, 27.95 liters epoxy. This looks good. I'm hoping to get this in some really good higher performance Central America. And then I've got a Maldives trip coming up in March, April. I'll probably take this over there. And if it still does the goods, it'll probably end up being an Indo board in exchange with this Clayton 510, 511 epoxy as well. Sometimes board bags come with little cushion inserts. This is one of several that came in this one. And just a little extra cushioning between the boards or on top, yeah, or some t-shirts and board shorts. 5'9" fish beard. I had been surfing it with the Almeric keel Channel Islands that they kind of go standard with this board. I have since picked up from Surf and Show his upright HP twins. Any shout outs to companies in this video? I'm not affiliated. I'm just giving you guys some legit info on companies, brands, gear that I think's legit. I haven't surfed these yet, but coming from Noel Salas, the guy shreds. He seems to know what he's doing 100%. So he personally said these boards will go really well with these upright twins. So taking these with me. So you should be able to see now that I cut this cardboard to size. And so once it's all wrapped up, it's just an extra barrier against the rails, right? At the end of the day, you just got to pray to the surf gods that the airlines aren't just going to be the destroyers, and you know, get some decent travel insurance, although it's probably be a pain in the ass. I haven't actually dealt with travel insurance on boards, but the bubble wrap, t-shirts, boardies, wetty tops, for example, wetty. Oh, got some, I can unveil these yet. Got some custom rash guards for the guests. And I don't know why these aren't made anymore. I found these at a discount warehouse in Australia. The hoodie rashies, it's basically what we call the sperm suit. You sit out there and float and you look like a sperm, just... Anyways, I don't know why O'Neill stopped making these. These are legit. I should make some like surf strength coach hooded spermy rashies. Take over the lineup. But anyways, extra cushioning on top, and I'll generally sprinkle fins across the top. The board coffin is coming together. I usually travel internationally with 3 or 4 boards. This one maxes out at 3. A couple other shout outs to some equipment I'm using. On that 6'4" twin fin, Project Blank out of Australia, upright twin fins, really good, legit price point. The other boards, my Twinny is a Futures fin box. The other twin fin is FCS, so that's kind of a pain in the ass. Otherwise, I'd give those a go. But you can even on these, for those that aren't fin savvy, I'm lower intermediate fin savvy. You can look at the different rakes and lengths and drive and all fin essentials that are gonna make these all really different surfing fins. Again, I surf that fish beard a lot with the keels, so I'm really looking forward. This should be a lot more performance oriented, heaps more in the pocket. That kind of upright, what's that, is that term the rake? I don't remember which is which. But see how the length of this fin from front to back versus this one, and how much more upright this HP twin fin is from Noel Salas. That's gonna be a lot more maneuverability, essentially turning in the pocket, whereas this one's kind of more drive and hold. I've probably just botched the shit out of that, but that is some generic versions of fin design. Another legit shout out, fins. If you are in Indonesia, hit up Jawa, J-O-W-A Surf. You can find him on social media. Absolute legend of a guy, Greg, and does a lot of really good things for all the local Indo surfers. Really good high performance thruster and now twin fins. I've just been in Australia and the States, so I haven't been able to get any more from him. But on that Lost Mayhem, I'm gonna be surfing these 2 variations of fins. So if you are in Indo and you need fins, hit up Jawa Surf. Tell him Chris from Surf Strength Coach sent him your way, or sent you his way. Leashes, I will always put into the board bag, but be aware of how you're actually packing them, because if you get them really sideways, I've seen them actually crease boards. So I will usually flatten, put on top. So again, this whole top area, I'm just gonna start putting rashies. Think of this as all extra padding and weight, right? So I've got to go down to Central America. I'm taking a Triton surf skate. So this is the overseas made version of a Carver. Really good. I'm taking these for the coaching camp. I'm actually gonna have to put this in here, so make sure that tail flips up. So again, I'm gonna put this in such a way to really cushion these surfboards as much as possible. And I've got 23 kilos with American Airlines, so I'm making sure this is hitting 23 kilos. Boardies, you can even wrap boardies kind of around the rails if you need be. That's always kind of some extra cushioning. Surf Aid out of Byron Bay in Australia. Legitimately some of the most durable, good leashes. I haven't used like an FCS Ocean Earth leash or anything in a long time, just because since I've got onto Surf Aids. It's a little kind of like mom pop shop that's been making leggies and other stuff for decades. You can get them online. Surf Aids out of Byron Bay, Australia. Good leashes. Theracane. You can get a cheap version, generic version off of Amazon or eBay. You can do some legit tissue work on neck and shoulders with a Theracane. One of the last things that's probably going in here, just based on weight, I always, again, because I'm doing coaching and a lot of body work as well, is some type of big superband. This is about 1 3/4 inch width. You can do You know, if it's strapped up to a tree, a lot of like fascial work, open up the shoulders, stretch, but a lot of good hip mobilization. So if you've got some funky tight hips and it's bothering you, check out my programs. Stretches for Surfers 2.0. Get into it. Do it. Do it. Do it. And that'll go in there as well. I'll sometimes just throw the fins in the bag in there, but they'll just, if I'm packing this like maxed out, they'll just go flatter if they're singled like that, kind of individually spread around, rather than a stack of 3. And really I only put those fins on top of making sure there's some cushioning in there. That's the test. Ooh, I'm guessing 18.5 kilos. Let's see how on point I am. 17.9. I was close. So that's cool. I've got a couple kilos to work with. So as I start to pack my bags, again, I've got to do a lot of coaching down there, so I'm taking a lot more equipment than normal. If this can fit soft things more easily, more clothes might go in here. I've got some snacks, gummy bears. Legit, in the midst of a snack, you're on a boat, come in, smash a handful of gummy bears. Some other stuff I'm taking. Also as snacks, I'm taking beef kidney from Gold Standard and beef liver. Think of them as multivitamins, but in particular, super high in B vitamins, super high in copper, and this one in particular is high in DAO, the DAO enzyme that helps your gut break down histamine. Here's a tangent, personal health history story with Chris. So some chronic health issues over the years, one of which I have lived in really moldy homes several times. And if you have ever personally dealt with basically mold biotoxin illness, it is one of the most fucked up things I have ever personally dealt with. I in fact saw one of the leading mold doctors in Australia to deal with some of this stuff. So a byproduct of that has been the development of something called histamine intolerance from food. And so one thing I'm personally doing in order to combat that is taking DAO enzyme with food. Foods like spinach, avocado, banana, papaya, lots of other foods have higher amounts of histamines. Most foods have some type of histamine in it. The problem with people that got really mold sensitive and a degraded gut and leaky gut issues and this kind of whole mast cell activation syndrome is you get really sensitive or have the inability to break down histamine within the gut. These are high in copper, which is used specifically by the body to help create the DAO enzyme. I think it's diamine oxidase, something like, I'm probably getting that wrong. And beef kidney actually has some DAO enzyme. So not only is it an easy protein snack on a surf trip, there are some specific health ramifications for me taking these. So gummy bears and snacks will go in there. I'll also be taking like some Larabar type things, probably some type of protein powder, maybe some creatine, so it'll stop me at customs thinking I'm trying to traffic cocaine into Nicaragua rather than out of Nicaragua. Come on. So that's pretty much it. Board bag's good to go. If you have questions, comments, better insights than I, please drop them. This is just stuff I've collated over the years and then seeing what works, what doesn't work. If you're going on surf trips, pack them safe. Peace.